Morning all. Elsa made me some door cards. Would you like to see?
Sun is shining, birds are chirping. It's a perfect day to make door cards. Okay, so the only real problem with making the door cards is I actually have no idea what I'm going to do with them. And this is going to take a bit of thought. Right, first things first. I had already decided that I was going to put carpet at the bottom of the door. Because the bottom of the door can get kind of dirty and grubby, and that'd probably be the best thing. So I'm going to put carpet on here. I also need to put all the panel pins in. So there's a couple of them in already. I'm going to put the rest of them in so that we don't forget, because I'm going to cover that in carpet. With the handles, now I had originally thought about covering the handles with the vinyl. So I've got the vinyl here. So this vinyl is the same stuff that I use for the chairs. It is marine grade vinyl. It's pretty good, but it doesn't play nice really on corners. And this would be a nightmare to cover. I think it would just look wrinkly and just take more time than it's worth. So I'm thinking paint. I am going to give this to David and let's get him to paint it, because he's much better at painting things than me. So let's go and do that now. This is the guy responsible for the squeaking in the background. He has a new toy. Hey.
Hello.
Can you do me a favour?
No.
Please.
You're all right then.
Can you paint these?
Okay, what colour?
Dark grey.
Okay, I'll leave them out in the sun to get nice and prepped. Oh,
Right.
Have you cleaned them?
Yes.
Right, okay, so
Cleaned and shiny.
I need to clean them again because they're all dirty. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. So that's them painted, and I've used this stuff. Duplicolor, vinyl and fabric. Pur vinyl et tissure. Material de... you don't care. Now, Elsa also gave me a roll of this. But you'll have to wait till the end to find out where that's going.
So on the grounds that nobody wants to bang their elbow on a door, we need to have some padding. So I have this padding stuff. I am just going to roughly lay it on, draw out the shape and chop a bit of padding to the right size. It's nice and soft. No more banging elbows. Should be good. Okay, we've got two colours. This is greyish, which can't decide whether it's grey or beige, so someone came up with a clever name, and maroon. don't like that one. I actually don't think I want this on the door at all. I'm thinking, let's keep it simple, right? Cover it all with that. It's going to look nice. Let's cut a bit to size, and then in the rest of the car I've been using a wee decorative stitch, which is normally actually this colour of stitching on this fabric. I think for this I'm going to mix it up, swap over, put a maroon stitch on this rather than a whole bit of maroon fabric. So we chop it out and maybe go with a wee square there around the ducket. Maybe a wee seam along the top, and probably just something along the bottom to hold it all together. That might actually be enough because the door handle's here, right? Let's try it. Let's try it. Can you hear me? Okay, so that's it all marked up. I have a little show, but there's the square for the ducket, and I've just free-handed a box around it, drawn around the whole thing, and I free-handed a line along the top here to put a stitch on. So now to the sewing machine. So that's the square around the ducket, and then the line along the top. And of course my thread ran out just before we got to the end, and it's made a bit of a mess there, but oh well, such is life. Right, so now I am going to glue the foam onto the back of the fabric. All glued, and I folded the bottom bit over there and glued it on as well. So now I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and just run a wee stitch all the way along there, just to kind of hold that in place a wee bit extra. Right. I'm not doing a fancy stitch this time, so I'm just going to fix that back to normal. Should be good there. Right, let's see if that works. So that made kind of a nasty thump. It got stuck. I stuck it, and that isn't quite what we were hoping for. Going to have to take all that off and start again. Yay! Lovely. So the moral of that story, if you're changing the stitch over from a fancy one to a straight one, always try on the scrap bit first. Right, let's try that again this time. Hopefully it won't make a mess, because it took a hell of a lot longer to unpick it than it did to do it. Let's just a couple of okay, looks good this time. Let's do it. Right, sewing is all done. Definitely not the neatest job, but hopefully it's good enough. Right, so next thing I'm gonna cut this so that we can get the duplicate, and then we're gonna get with some glue and staples. That's it. Glue and staples. Here we go. Okay, I do believe my work here is done, and I think all I have to do now is do it all again to match on the second one, and then give them to David to fit to the car. So next you see them, the second one should have miraculously appeared, and I hope you like.
Thanks, honey. I have now attached the door cards to the doors, and I've attached those grab handles and the openy latchy handle things, so I suppose you want to see them. So remember folks, we are not going for perfection here. We just wanted something that was reasonably pleasant to look at, and then keeping with the rest of the car. Anyway, here's how they look. Now, don't worry about these wrinkles. These wrinkles will even out. As you can see on the other side, they're starting to even out already. A bit of heat and they'll be fine. So there we go. My handle, my duplicate, that little bit of chrome, that roll that I showed you, went on there quite nicely. So as I say, don't worry about these wrinkles. They will flatten out. It's all cushioned and lovely. Overall, couldn't be happier. This chrome strip at the top needs to be stuck down a bit firmer, but that'll be fine. And it does match the interior very nicely. So there we go, interior door panels. A lot more interior stuff still to go. I think they look jolly nice. And thank you very much to my lovely wife, Elsa. Not Elsa, Elsa. It's like ale, as in beer. You'll get it. Right, take care of everyone. Back to metal work tomorrow, I think. But we're going for a drive. Bye-bye.